Okay, imagine this.
Yeah.
You wake up tomorrow, and AI isn't just, a thing on your phone anymore. It's changed.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much everything. What does that actually feel like day to day?
Right.
So today, we're doing a deep dive. We've got a stack of recent news all about AI from all over the place.
Yeah, it's quite a mix, isn't it? We've got big picture stuff from tech leaders, economic impacts, new gadgets, healthcare breakthroughs, even legal battles, and robots running marathons.
Exactly. So the mission today is basically to sift through all this buzz, find the really key developments happening right now, and give you a sense of where this whole AI train might be heading.
Make sense of the whirlwind, basically.
Let's start big. Sam Altman at OpenAI,
Mhm.
he's looking way beyond GPT-4. What's the vision there? Is it just like a smarter chatbot?
Well, it's much bigger than that, actually. Altman's talking about future models, maybe GPT-5, maybe something else, becoming these unified systems.
Unified how?
Like integrating voice, video, handling lots of different tasks all at once seamlessly. He's really pushing towards artificial general intelligence, AGI.
Yes. AGI. Okay, the big one.
Yeah, the idea of an AI that has, human level smarts, maybe more, and can use it for almost anything. He's even used the phrase smarter than us.
Smarter than us. Well, that's a lot to unpack.
It is. It really forces you to think about what that means for, well, everything. It's not just a better tool. It's potentially a whole new kind of intelligence interacting with our world.
And speaking of interacting with our world, Bill Gates threw out a pretty wild prediction about work. He thinks AI could take over most jobs, leading to maybe a 2-day work week within a decade.
Yeah, that one got a lot of attention. I mean, on one hand, a 2-day work week sounds pretty appealing, right? More life, less work.
Absolutely. Sign me up.
But there's a huge flip side. Gates himself points it out. You've got massive job displacement potentially. How to manage AI that powerful ethically? And does all that wealth AI creates just go to a few people?
Right. Big, big questions. It's exciting, but also, yeah, a little unnerving.
Definitely requires some serious thought about how society adapts. It's not just a tech issue.
Okay, so bringing it down from those huge future ideas to, like, right now, AI assistants. Perplexity AI launched one for iPhones. What's the deal there?
Yeah, this is interesting because it shows how AI is slotting into the tools we already use. This Perplexity assistant can use the iPhone's own features, the built-in Apple stuff, to play your music, draft an email, put something in your calendar.
So it works with the phone system.
Exactly. It leverages the native apps, makes it feel more integrated, more practical for everyday tasks.
But I heard there were limits. It can't do everything on the phone.
That's right, because it has to work through Apple's SDK, their software development kit. Think of it like the set of tools Apple gives developers.
Okay.
So Perplexity can use those tools, but Apple doesn't give access to every single function on iOS. So yeah, limitations. It shows that interplay between the AI companies and the platform owners like Apple.
Right, who holds the keys, basically.
Kind of, yeah.
Let's switch gears completely. There's this really powerful story about AI in healthcare. Julian Isla, guy from Microsoft, and DXGPT.
Ah, yes. This is a really moving example of, tech for good. Isla's son had Dravet syndrome, this severe epilepsy, but it took ages to get diagnosed, a really difficult time for the family.
I can only imagine.
So that experience pushed him to co-found Foundation 29 and create DXGPT. It's an AI tool designed to help doctors get to a diagnosis faster. You input the symptoms, and it gives potential preliminary diagnoses.
Wow, so it could cut down that awful waiting time, the uncertainty.
That's the hope. For families stuck in that diagnostic odyssey, not knowing what's wrong, something like this could be, well, life-changing. Faster diagnosis means faster access to the right treatment.
That really hits home the potential positive impact. But as AI gets better, it needs more data, right? Including stuff like news articles, books. And that's causing friction. There's a lawsuit, Ziff Davis against OpenAI.
Yeah, this is a big one. Ziff Davis, they publish Mashable, PC Mag, lots of tech content. They're suing OpenAI, basically saying OpenAI scraped their articles without permission to train ChatGPT and other models.
So copyright infringement, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. They're asking for a lot of money in damages. And they're not alone. Other media companies have raised similar alarms. It really drills down to a fundamental question. How can these AI models be trained legally and ethically using existing content?
It feels like the rules are being written as we go.
Pretty much. The outcome of these cases could really shape how AI develops and how creators get compensated, or if they do, it's a massive legal gray area right now.
Okay, shifting to the global picture. AI development isn't just happening in Silicon Valley. Baidu just launched new models in China. Ernie something.
Ernie 4.5 Turbo and Ernie X1 Turbo, yeah. This really shows how intense the competition is within China's own AI scene. Baidu is pushing hard on generative AI, the kind that creates text, images, etc., trying to stay ahead of local rivals and, of course, global players, too.
And it's not just about building models, but also finding the people to build them. Databricks is investing heavily in India.
That's right, $250 million. Databricks, they do data and AI platforms. This move signals how crucial it is for these companies to tap into talent pools worldwide. They want to boost their Indian workforce by over 50%. India is becoming a real hub for AI talent.
Meanwhile, back in the US, Alphabet, Google's parent, is doing well financially, partly thanks to AI, right? But they're also still dealing with antitrust stuff.
Exactly. It's kind of a split screen for them. Their cloud business and AI initiatives are driving profits, showing the huge economic value here. But at the same time, the U.S. government is still in this big antitrust fight with them.
What about potentially breaking up parts of the company?
Yeah, like forcing them to sell off Chrome or parts of their ad business. It's a reminder that even as tech like AI explodes, the big players face scrutiny over market power, especially as AI could potentially make them even more dominant.
Okay, so we have the tech, the business, the legal battles. What about the philosophy behind it? Demis Hassabis from DeepMind, that's Google's AI lab, he talked about AI morality.
Yeah, Hassabis' take is interesting. He emphasizes that current AI, even the really advanced stuff, doesn't have consciousness. It's not self-aware.
So it's not thinking like we are.
Not in that sense, no. He argues that a key step towards more advanced, maybe even safer AI is getting it to understand the concept of self versus other, like a basic building block for higher cognition, and maybe eventually some form of ethical understanding. But we're not there yet.
That's fascinating. But also, sticking with ethics, there was an issue with a Chinese AI startup, DeepSeek, and user data in South Korea.
Right. This is more about data privacy. The South Korean authorities found DeepSeek transferred user data, including the actual prompts people typed into the AI outside the country without consent.
Where did the data go?
Apparently to companies in China and the US. It just highlights the huge concerns around how user data is handled by these AI apps, especially when it crosses borders. Who controls it? Who sees it?
Yeah, another really important angle. So while the tech race is ahead, these governance questions are lagging behind, it seems.
Definitely. Okay, let's talk about how AI is actually showing up more in everyday things. OpenAI and Shopify are teaming up for shopping.
Yeah, this could change how we buy stuff online. The idea is you could chat with ChatGPT, get product ideas, maybe read reviews, and then buy the thing right there in the chat.
So like a combined search, review, and checkout.
Kind of.
Oh, well.
Integrating Shopify's e-commerce tools directly into the chat could be pretty disruptive for other platforms trying to do similar things.
Makes sense. And we're seeing it in cars too, right? Bosch got a big order in China for AI computers for vehicles, and BMW is putting DeepSeek AI into its cars there.
Yeah, the auto industry is definitely plugging AI in. That Bosch order is for high-performance computers specifically for AI tasks in cars. And BMW using DeepSeek in China shows automakers partnering with AI firms to make cars smarter, better navigation, better user experience, especially for that market.
It feels like it's embedding itself everywhere.
It really does. But we have to talk about the flip side again, the risks. Demis Hassabis, even while saying AI isn't conscious now, he's also super optimistic about healthcare. He said AI could lead to the end of disease in a decade. That sounds huge.
It's incredibly ambitious. His logic is based on how AI is already helping scientists understand things like protein structures, which is key for drug discovery. The hope is AI dramatically speeds up finding cures.
End of disease, though.
Wow.
It's a bold prediction for sure, reflects the immense potential people see, even if the timeline is optimistic.
Okay, slightly different gear shift. There was some news about Indian politicians meeting, initially thought to be about politics, but it turned out to be about agricultural AI.
Yeah, that was Supriya Sule, an MP, clarifying things.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how AI is becoming relevant in almost every sector, even farming, and how easily AI news gets mixed into other narratives.
Interesting. We also saw Amazon might be tapping the brakes slightly on building new data centers. Possibly. There were reports they paused some leasing talks, especially overseas. It could signal they're being a bit more cautious about expanding cloud infrastructure right now, maybe because of economic uncertainty. Other tech giants have made similar adjustments.
Okay. And the U.S. government is still worried about Google search.
Yeah.
Especially with AI coming into the picture.
Yeah, the antitrust pressure continues. The concern is that AI could make Google's search dominance even stronger, locking out competitors. They're arguing Google's past actions were already anti-competitive, and AI just raises the stakes.
Right. Now, let's talk about that robot, Ameka, the one that winked and said it wouldn't take over the world. People reacted strongly to that, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. It perfectly captures that weird mix of fascination and, frankly, unease people feel. It looks so lifelike, makes these seemingly aware comments. Even denying world domination makes you think about world domination.
It's that uncanny valley thing, maybe.
Definitely. It raises all sorts of questions about AI, autonomy, control, trust. As these things get more human-like, those feelings are only going to intensify.
And unfortunately, it's not just slightly creepy robots. AI is also being used for actual harm, like making cybercrime easier.
Yeah, that's a serious downside. Reports show AI lowers the barrier for criminals. It's easier to create convincing phishing emails, automate parts of attacks, misuse software. It's basically supercharging the threat.
Not good. On a lighter, maybe weirder note, humanoid robots ran a half marathon in China.
They did. It sounds a bit like a publicity stunt, but it's also a demonstration of progress in robotic stability, navigation, endurance, all powered by AI. They needed support teams, kind of like a pit crew for a race car, but still, they ran.
Wild. And China's also looking to put AI into schools, like across the board.
Yeah, a big education reform plan. They want to use AI from primary school all the way to university to boost innovation, make learning more dynamic, and ultimately find new ways to drive economic growth.
But global politics plays a role here, too. AMD might lose a lot of money because of new U.S. rules about selling advanced chips to China for AI.
That's right. The U.S. restricted exports of certain high-end GPUs, the chips essential for training big AI models. AMD thinks it could cost them maybe $800 million. It really shows how geopolitics and tech supply chains are tangled up in this AI race.
And speaking of money, OpenAI might be buying another company, Windsurf, for billions.
Yeah, rumors are around $3 billion. Windsurf was valued much lower recently. It suggests OpenAI is aggressively trying to acquire talent or tech, consolidating its position in the super competitive AI space. Big money moves.
Okay, last one. Back to cars. Nissan's planning advanced self-driving using AI from a company called Wave.
Yes, their next-gen ProPilot system, planned for around 2027. They're partnering with Wave, whose AI is trained on tons of real-world driving data. The goal is to handle complex driving situations more intelligently, improving safety and performance over time.
Will, okay, that was a lot. We've covered everything from like the ultimate future of AGI and two-day work weeks down to shopping bots and running robots.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? You see the incredible speed, the potential to completely reshape work and health, but also the tricky ethical stuff, the legal battles, the global jostling for position.
Yeah, all happening at once. It's clear this isn't just hype, it's actively unfolding, changing things.
Absolutely. And these news items, they're just snapshots, right? The field is moving so fast.
So for everyone listening, maybe the question to chew on is,
Mhm.
out of all this, the good, the bad, the weird, what do you think is going to hit closest to home for you? Which of these currents will actually change your life or the future you see?
It's a great question. And really, this conversation, this deep dive, it's just scratching the surface. There's so much more to learn and track as AI continues to evolve. Definitely worth keeping an eye on.